This is the Big Idea Design TIE Field Watch Solar Edition. There's also an automatic edition. And in this video, I want to review my experience with it over the last couple of weeks and determine whether or not it is going to replace my Apple Watch as my new daily wrist device. Now, comparing an analog watch like this to an Apple Watch is kind of stupid if you think about it. It's an apples to oranges situation. However, for me personally, I've had the Apple Watch on my wrist every single day for the last 2 years-ish. And I want to know if the Field Watch here can do everything that I want and go ahead and replace that. I'm not somebody who takes full advantage of all of the features of an Apple Watch. There's a few things that I think I'm going to miss switching away from a smartwatch. But ultimately, I kind of miss the days of having one item that just does something really, really well. So there's a lot of appeal to me to have an analog watch that just tells me the time and tells me the date, and I don't have to worry about it. So my goal for a watch really is to have a device that can tell me the time and tell me the date when I want it, and I can forget about it the rest of the time. The Apple Watch fails on several accounts, but it does add some extra features. So the very first category that I want to tackle here is comfort. Above and beyond anything else, it doesn't matter what features a watch has, it doesn't matter anything. If you're not going to wear it, nothing else matters. I've had this watch here for a number of years, along with several other similar designs, and I love this watch. It's fantastic. However, I can't wear it for more than a 12-hour day, and I start to really notice it on my wrist. It starts to get annoying. So as I mentioned, I really want my watch to just disappear, and I don't want to think about it if I'm not currently wanting to know the time or the date. So having something extremely comfortable that I never have to worry about taking off, for example, if I'm going to go chop wood, riding my motorcycle, I've got a lot of vibrations, even running a jackhammer or something like that. A heavy watch like the Citizen here, you're really going to notice it, and it's going to bang up your wrist. With the Apple Watch and the TIE Field Watch here, you don't notice. I've tackled all kinds of projects, and I haven't noticed it on my wrist. It's not aggravated my wrist or anything like that. So I'm a huge fan of how comfortable the TIE Field Watch is. It really, I would say, matches, if not exceeds, the Apple Watch in comfort. While we're talking about comfort here, I just want to throw this on with the strap so we can see with the strap we are at 46.7 grams for the TIE Field Watch. Now let's go ahead and weigh the Apple Watch. This is with a Nomad strap, and we are at 68.1 grams, so we're actually lighter than the Apple Watch with the TIE Field Watch. And then if we throw this guy on here with stainless steel bracelet, we're at 144.9 grams. So all that extra weight, I kind of enjoy the weight sometimes. Once in a while, I'm like, yeah, I just want to feel that on my wrist. But for a daily watch where I just want it to disappear, that is not great. And then again, if I'm splitting wood or something like that, all that extra weight is just going to move the watch around on my wrist a lot more. So there you go. There's the weight. If you've ever worn an Apple Watch or whatever and you're comfortable with that weight, you're definitely going to be happy with the TIE Field Watch. This, I should note, is the 45 millimeter. I don't remember what version, but it is the 45 millimeter Apple Watch. Before I get too much further into this video, I actually want to talk about presentation and how this thing arrives. They have knocked it out of the park with this. This reminds me much more of something you'd see with the Pete's Pirate Life brand, which is a brand that Big Idea Design does run. They really get into some fancy packaging. So when you open up the box, the shipping box, you're going to be presented with this wooden box right here, which I think, actually has a little kickstand on the back, little magnetic kickstand, so it can become a display case. So I don't know if you want to keep your watch in the box, you can do that. And it ships not only with this green NATO strap. You can also get a black version. It's all blacked out with a black strap. But the stonewashed one here comes with this green strap and then this Horween leather strap as well. So right out of the gate, you're getting a beautiful presentation and 2 straps, so you can have your kind of everyday look with this green strap, and then you can really dress this watch up by throwing a leather strap on there. I have never seen a NATO strap so well designed. I really wish that these straps could stay in stock on the website. They're currently out of stock. They should just make a ton of colors and a ton of variations and just sell these straps, because how easy they are to use is incredible. So you have this thread through there, and then it just threads through the back. So all there is to put this strap on is you pass the strap through any 20mm lugs on the back of the watch, and then feed it through this right here, and it's installed. No tools, hardly any time. Switching this strap is awesome. I would love to see more of these straps come out, and I just run these on anything. I'm a huge fan of this. I checked, and Resi does not sell them. They only seem to be available through Big Idea Design. This seems to be their thing, and I'm a big fan. They should definitely, like I said, sell these. I did mention that they can go through any 20mm lug, so if you have a different bracelet that you prefer or already have, this is a 20mm lug, and you can just pop that out and then put any kind of different bracelet on here. I will note that they do sell a titanium bracelet that will work on here, and it's, I think, like $170. Don't quote me, I'll just put the number down there, how much it is. It's a little under $200 right now, which isn't cheap for a bracelet. However, it is made of titanium, it's not stainless steel, so it's going to be very lightweight. You can spend tens of thousands on a watch, or you can spend like $10 on a watch. So whether or not a high hundred some dollar bracelet is a good deal or not is going to be very up to your situation. One thing I want to mention and note is that I have very small wrists, like very small wrists compared to most people. So I had to shorten the strap a little bit with a NATO strap. That's very easy, you just heat it up. I did not do the best job, but hey, it's just really quick. For having small wrists, there's a lot of watches that just are not comfortable on me, or the straps are way too long. This wasn't actually way too long, it was only slightly too long. I like things to be nice and tight, so I did shorten it. But if you're somebody with small wrists, this is going to work very well for you, and you've got a lot of room to grow on here if you have really big wrists. Another thing to note, if you're an inside the wrist kind of guy or gal, this is fairly comfortable in there. The crown doesn't protrude too bad, so I found it to be quite comfortable under there. I don't normally run inside the wrist, but I did try that out just to see how comfortable it was. I don't even like the Apple Watch inside the wrist. I think that's a little bit too big for how small my wrists are. Gets a little bit uncomfortable. This right here worked quite well inside the wrist, and I find that to be a very valid way of wearing this. Another thing I forgot to mention in the not having to worry about it category is the water resistance. It is water resistant down to 100 meters, which, if you know anything about watch water resistance, you can't really go by the meters. 50 meters generally means it's more splash resistant. Essentially, you can shower with it, it can get rained on, stuff like that. 100 meters means that you can actually go swimming with it. And in my life and my lifestyle, I don't go diving or anything like that. So chances are I will never have to take this thing off because of water. So I just don't have to worry about it. That is actually kind of a big deal to me because I was down somewhere in the Caribbean and had a watch that did not have waterproofing on it. And I actually got water under the under the glass just from condensation because it was so humid, and it ended up frying the watch. So as somebody who's lost a watch because of just humidity, not even going in the water with it, water resistance is something that I definitely want to have. Up here in Minnesota, we don't have that kind of crazy humidity, but we do have a lot of lakes and a lot of opportunities to get wet. So yeah, essential feature to me. And then another feature that this watch offers is that it's solar powered. So the fact that it's solar powered means that as long as I get some sun once in a while, it's got a 6-month battery on it. So once it's fully charged, then you can go 6 months without it getting sun and it'll still keep running. Having that solar powered feature means that I just don't have to worry about it. With the Apple Watch, I had to take it off every single night and charge it. And if I forgot, then I couldn't tell the time the next day. The other annoying thing is I go on a lot of trips, stuff like that. And then I have to remember to pack this special charger. You can't just plug the Apple Watch in. So I would forget the charger once in a while, and then I would just be without a watch for the rest of the trip. That is very annoying. And then packing a watch like this, it just got uncomfortable after a couple of days. So having something like this that is both comfortable and I just don't have to worry about it not working, I love that. The one bit of maintenance that you are gonna have to worry about is once a month, you're gonna have to make sure that that date is correct on the first of the month. For it is a 31-day calendar in there, so any months that are shorter than 31 days, once it rolls over to the first, it's not gonna be correct and you're gonna have to set that. That's just the way that it goes with these kind of watches, unless you have a perpetual calendar, which tends to really throw you into a much higher price point. The last feature that I want to talk about before I get into anything else is the timer function. So just like dive watches have those big bezels with the timer on here, this watch actually has that as well, but it is so slim that you could easily miss it. It's just this little dial right here, and it's very smooth, super easy to set. This is a very nice feature. I'm glad it's in there, but it's the one feature that's kind of a bit of a letdown. It does work. I almost wish that it was clicked instead of super smooth, but that's not the issue. The issue is that if I want to set this, right here, and I want to leave it for 5 minutes or something like that, you're generally going to be okay. But I've set it for a half hour before, and I remembered where I set it. Half hour later, it had moved and it was not in the same spot. So just walking around living my life, this does move. So while I like how easy it is to set, I do wish it was a bit stiffer so that it didn't accidentally get activated. That's one thing that I think could be upgraded on this watch. I appreciate that it's in here. I like how it feels. However, I can't rely on it. So if it's something time critical, I'm not going to use this timer. Another thing I appreciate about this watch is I have some watches that you really can't tell down to the second or down to the minute. Every single one of your 60 seconds, minutes, etc. is very clearly marked and easy to see on this while maintaining this nice minimal design. Another detail is the green writing and the green second hand. I really love that. Personal preference, but that green just sets it apart from anything else I've seen on the market, and I really do like that. Another thing kind of in that same category is the lume. So I've had a number of watches that have luminescence, whatever. I don't know a whole lot about it, but typically an hour after sunset, they're not gonna glow anymore. The glow is just, the charge is over. This thing here glows all night. I have no idea if it's radioactive or how it has this kind of glow, but it can be 5 o'clock in the morning the next day, and I can look at it and I can read the time in pitch blackness. So it glows all night long. That's very cool. Yeah, just if that's important to you, the glow is good. I did have an issue with the Ti-Field watch when I first got it. That issue was that after 2-3 days, I was 2 or 3 minutes behind, which is a big problem. And also my day, not the date was working fine, but the day would switch to Spanish instead of cycling through to the next day. And that was kind of a big problem. I was ready to contact Big Idea Design, and then all of a sudden it started working fine. Waited a couple of days, everything was working fine, the time was keeping up. And I think what happened was that my battery was really low. It was sitting in this box on the shelf, and it was getting down to the end of that 6 months. And the first couple of days I wore it, I probably had long sleeves on. It wasn't really getting any light, wasn't charging up. And then when I got down to the point where I really noticed it was an issue and I was getting ready to contact them, it was a sunny day and I had short sleeves on, and it charged it up, and I haven't lost a second since. So no longer an issue. Plus, Big Idea Design has fantastic customer support and a lifetime warranty, so I know that if I ever have an issue with this watch, they're going to get it taken care of. I just wanted to point out that that was an issue, so if you do happen to get one of the solar editions, not one of the automatics, maybe make sure it gets a little bit of light before you set everything, and then it should, I'm assuming that's the issue, and then it should work seamlessly. That is the TIE Field Watch Solar Edition by Big Idea Design. Ultimately, I do think that this is going to replace my Apple Watch. Just for what I want. It's simple, it's elegant, I can dress it up, dress it down, I can have it in any kind of situation. I never have to worry about taking it off. I even slept with it, not that I would normally sleep with it, but just to see if it was comfortable enough. If I can wear it and sleep comfortably, you know it's comfortable, and I had absolutely no issues. So yeah, personally, I am a fan of this watch. And if you want to pick one up, I reached out to Big Idea Design and asked if I could get a discount code for it, and so they set me up. Code JoeJames will get you 10% off, or use the link in the description. Just a disclaimer, that link or code will give me a 10% commission kickback. If you want to use somebody else's code or just want to pay full price for it, by all means. I'm not going to endorse a product I don't fully enjoy and like. I'm not getting any other kind of incentives or anything like that from Big Idea Design to do this review. I have no other affiliation or anything like that with them, so this is an unbiased, honest review. However, if you do purchase through that link, it will help support me a little bit. Thanks for watching. I hope that you found this review helpful, and let me know down in the description if you have any experience with this watch or any other very comfortable everyday watches, field watches, stuff like that. I'm always interested to check those out. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more stuff, hit that subscribe button. I'm not sure what my upload schedule is going to be like this year, so if you want to know next time I drop a video, make sure and hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.